feel it's like pretty stupid that we have to be doing this again.
Yeah, I know, but this episode's airing on my birthday, so grant me this one indulgence, please. So on the channel, we've done a couple of videos over the past month or so, simply titled How Not to Do Business. And the connective tissue, I suppose, between those videos has been the fact that we've been approached as a channel by numerous sponsors. And I was just breaking down, like, the communication I had with those sponsors, just as a way of pulling the curtain back on this aspect of YouTube, because you don't often see many creators talking about it, presumably because it would, cut into their bottom line. And today we're going to be covering perhaps one of the most famous YouTube sponsors, Audible.
So why are we talking about Audible today?
And it's because Audible, like many companies have reached out to me, not personally, not the company itself, but via a third party, which I think the way a lot of YouTube sponsorships go down.
Yeah.
People might not know that. It's like the companies themselves don't reach out. They get other companies to do it on their behalf. I think they take a cut based on what kind of deal they can ink with an individual creator. And I've been reached out to by such companies many times before, representing or claiming to represent Audible. But recently was the first time I've ever managed to get one of them to send me the terms and conditions of any deal they'd want to strike with me, which is something I don't think I've ever seen elsewhere online, because I'm going to guess that said conditions aren't something you're allowed to make public if you made a deal with them. So to clarify straight away, this video is not sponsored by Audible. This isn't just a very, very elaborate plug. I actively implore anybody who has Audible to end your subscription and send this video as a reasoning why. I want to take money away from this company because I'm so annoyed with them. And I believe, Adam, you have in front of you a list of the do's and do nots sent to me by Audible in the event that a deal would have been reached, which it wasn't. Fuck Audible. So Adam, would you like to start, as is tradition, at the beginning and just read the introduction for us?
Yeah, so it looks like their offer to you, which they would like you to offer your subscribers, are get your first audiobook for free, plus 2 Audible originals when you try Audible for 30 days.
Yeah, so that is, I think, the pitch everybody will be familiar with, because every single YouTuber or creator who is sponsored by Audible says basically the same thing. If you ever wondered why, it has a lot to do with this list we're about to discuss, because it is almost comically restrictive. For example, Adam, would you like to go to one of the points that they say I have to do?
Okay, so you must voice the unique URL, text code, and full call to action, and this following word is in bold, twice.
Yes, so that's fair enough, I guess. So I'd have to say go to, fucking bigwangers at audible.com, and I have to say that twice, which I think is hilarious, because it means that they think so little of the audience of the channel they're sponsoring that you have to mention it twice or people will forget.
Because it says, please know, and this is all in capitals, repeating both the URL, text code, and call to action is mandatory.
Yeah, so that's mandatory. So if I wanted to get paid, I would have to say that twice. And already, I'm a little pissed off by that, because if people have not watched the channel much, or they don't know what my standards are for accepting a sponsorship, it's very simple. A sponsorship is exactly that. It is not an endorsement. There is a difference between them, and an endorsement would require me to actually give a shit about the product. A sponsorship does not get that.
The next point, the creator must explain Audible Originals. Audible Originals are exclusive audio titles created by celebrated storytellers from worlds as diverse as theatre, journalism, literature, and more.
Yeah, and this is a required talking point again, and that's again why you'll always see that mentioned by other creators. And it's oh, so I'm not allowed to riff at all, I have to do it. So far we've already got, I have to repeat the same line twice and mention this. Any more for any more?
The creator must choose an audiobook title that not only interests you, but is relevant to the show's content or audience.
And here we go. Here's the rub, because I bet there's so many people out there watching this who think, yeah, I've watched a lot of Audible plugs before. And they're now thinking, wait a minute, yeah, they always recommend an audiobook that they like. And Nisha, you said yourself you watched someone who recommended an audiobook. And did you take that to be a genuine, endorsement of interest from that creator?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now how do you think about it, knowing that it was a mandatory thing they had to do to get paid?
Well, it's obviously not believable that they are interested in this book and it's something they enjoyed reading. It's just something they have to say.
Yeah, because or they wouldn't get paid. And I have no problem with creators getting paid. My problem is that The deals that they strike are very opaque and they're often not allowed to talk about them, but I am, because I didn't sign anything. So let's go on to the next one.
The creator must discuss how listening to Audible could help them achieve their goals and resolutions for the new year. Some ideas are, could listening inspire you to start something new? Could listening to motivational fitness programs help you reach your fitness goals?
And this next one is my absolute fucking favourite.
Could listening make you a better parent?
I'm not going to say there aren't books out there on parenting that would help a lot of people. But, folks at home, if you watch my channel, would you take my advice on how to be a good parent? It's so, do they even watch the channel? I'd like to point out to people listening that all the things Adam just listed aren't suggestions from Audible. They're things you have to include. Because I believe each statement you just read out includes the qualifier must.
Yeah, every single one.
And please just keep that in mind when you also realise that my first interaction with the company who sent through this list of things was me telling them I insist on absolute creative control over all content that goes on this channel. They read that and still sent me this.
Yep. Creator must talk about Audible's New Year Challenge. Audible is issuing a challenge to current and new members. Finish 3 audiobooks by March the 3rd and you get $20 Amazon credit. It's that simple. Finish 3 by the 3rd of the 3rd and get $20. How easy is that?
And I want you to just read the last bit out for us now, Adam, because they say it's like, a positive, a plus. It's like, a perk of using Audible, but I actually find it quite scary given that we know Audible's owned by Amazon, who tracks everything we do. And what is that thing that they say at the end?
There's nothing to enter. Audible will keep track of your progress for you.
And they put that forward as a positive, that this giant company is going to track what you do and then send you a reward for consuming product. And now that we're going to get to the fun stuff, so let's go to the do nots, because these are my fucking favourite bits.
Yeah,
and this is where people are going to realise this is not an elaborate plug. And would you like to explain to the people at home as well what the do not section is written like? Because it made me laugh when I just saw the formatting of it.
Yeah, it's just bullet points. And everything starts with do not, and then there's some in bold, they're double do nots.
Yeah, okay, so would you like to start with the first double bold do not?
Do not recommend or discuss Harry Potter or a Fantastic Beasts novel. Bear
in mind, all of our content is improvised, so if I would have mentioned during a natural plug the book Harry Potter, they would have said record the entire video again, and a little part of me thought that they wrote that, because that's the first thing they tell you not to do.
Yeah.
Is because, J.K. Rowling outed herself as a horrible piece of shit. She's a huge transphobe. Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. But given how soulless and corporate the rest of that list is, I'm just of the belief that it's because they know that people who read books and make it their entire personality look down on people who like Harry Potter. What's the next do not?
You've got a double do not. There can be absolutely no guns or firearms anywhere within the video.
So I'd like to point out that not mentioning Harry Potter is above not putting guns or firearms in your video. They consider Harry Potter to be a more poisonous subject for the brand than guns. What's the next do not?
It's just a single do not now.
So this one's not in bold, but it's still a big no-no.
Yeah. So this is third on the list. Do not use the words book or reading in your integration.
Let's just stop right there and think about this for a moment, folks at home. In a plug for audiobooks, you are not allowed to use the word book. How pathetic do Audible seem as a company when they won't even acknowledge the existence of the oldest piece of recorded media we have? If I remember rightly, the next one's even better, because what's the next do not you're not allowed to do in an Audible plug?
Do not mention audible.com unless delivering the URL. In other words, always refer to the company as Audible and not audible.com.
So fuck you, audible.com. That makes the company seem like they just have no faith whatsoever in their own branding, and they're owned by Amazon. It's like when you hear about, Bic pens. The people who make Bic pens. They write smarmy letters to journalists who refer to just biro pens as just biros when they're not made by the biro company. It's crazy. And what's the next one we have? What's the next do not?
This is my personal favourite.
Okay.
Do not show a physical book on camera.
So don't mention the word book. Don't show a book. Because obviously if you show a book, people realise, oh yeah, fuck, books are a thing. I can just read a book. Also, fun fact for anyone watching this who perhaps wants to read more books, many classic pieces of literature are available online for free because they're in the public domain, and you can find them at links that will be included below by whoever edits this, because there are so many just classic novels that you can just read for free without any issues. If there are people out there who still think that this is a very elaborate plug, let's now get one of my personal books from the office, which is K9 Core, which is written by one Kenneth Von Gunden, and I bet they don't have this on fucking audible.com. Do you know why? Because this book I found in a charity shop and I've never seen another copy of it. And I'm going to read the blurb now, so people, I encourage you, instead of signing up to Audible, go find more books in this series. So, first you party, then you die. As a reward for yanking a gigabillionaire off a prison satellite, Ray Larkin and his team earn a month's R&R on the universe's ultimate party planet. But Neverland isn't all fun and games. Not more than a few fleeting nanoseconds after landfall, Ray and the dogs, oh yeah, Ray's team is a bunch of dogs who can talk, find that the Play Planet simulated war games can become murderously realistic at the push of a programmer's button. And then now we have just a little blurb for the K9 Core. Yeah. They are the best freelance space scouts in the galaxy. Genetically altered dogs with enhanced sensors and the gift of speech.
I'd much rather read that than listen to Audible.
Do you know what? I bet people would rather listen to me read this than they would fucking Stephen Fry read Harry Potter or whatever the fuck. But yeah, so it's definitely not an Audible plug anymore because we've shown a book on screen. Oh God.
The next one. Do not promote any other Amazon products or offers in this spot. If there are any other non-Amazon products, including the video, the Audible offer and link need to come before this.
It's just like, what more do you say other than, get over your fucking self, man. It's like when Coca-Cola refused to acknowledge that Pepsi exists in adverts.
Yeah. Do not refer to or compare to Books on Tape or any competitor of Audible.
Again, just what? It's pathetic. That's what it is.
It's still going. I've got more.
Okay, it's going, yeah.
Do not reference magazines or Audible channels, magazines or periodicals.
So only books. Audio books, to be precise. Audio books on tape, if you were, on audible.com.
It says, do not reference APTIV.
I believe it's another competing service that's about getting people active and listening to books. I'm not sure. There'll be a description of it below.
I like this one as well.
Okay.
Do not call Audible audible.
Oh, that's amazing.
So someone who's done a plug and called them audible
and pronounced it wrong, and they're like, oh man. Can you imagine if you were some like shill-ass YouTuber who just bends over backwards to lick the shit-covered boot heel of Amazon? You follow every single one of the things we've just listed to the letter and totally suck up to Amazon and Audible as much as you can, and then you pronounce it wrong and don't get your money.
And then the final one.
Okay.
I can see you saying this.
Okay.
Do not make disparaging comments about reading, i.e., I hate reading.
I love reading. Reading's my job. I love it. I implore everybody out there to read as much as you can, but there's so much stuff out there for free. Like, I got K9 fucking Core for about, let's have a look, it was $3.99. I didn't even pay that for it, 'cause I got it from a charity shop for about 50 pence. On my home bookshelf, I have dozens and dozens of old reference books. I think the Pelican books that I got for like 25p each that I read just like, I'm going to learn some obscure shit. They got one like, oh, here's the history of Mesoamerica, written by some like 50-year-old fuddy-duddy who worked at like Oxford University and wrote it for like, they're interesting. Just anything that makes you a more rounded person, makes you better able to communicate or empathise with your fellow man. But fuck this company. Fuck them right in the arsehole. Because, oh my God, is that a horrendous list of things to put. And remember, they put this after I said, I want creative control over everything.
Didn't they say like, oh, you can?
Yes, they did.
These guidelines.
It happens every time, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in other videos. But my favourite thing that happened was that company representing Audible, when I told them, I'd basically put lol, fuck off. They put, well, they are the terms of the deal. We'll reach back out to you if we find a company who will give you, creative control over your ad plug. It's like, no, you won't. You've put my name in a list of just do not contact. And I wanted to bring this to people's attention because Audible is one of the big ones. And I'm guessing that the people watching this at home, like if you've watched any other YouTuber who's like around the same size as this channel or bigger, they will have had a plug for Audible. And I just wanted to let you know that was the list of things that they had to, abide by. And some of the ones on there I feel are, if not dishonest, are not in the spirit of what an ad plug or a sponsorship should be, such as you have to mention an audiobook that you enjoyed. What about like me, if you like reading shit like this? And that would mean if I took that sponsorship and I tried to argue that point, I would be left with the choice of lie to my audience, which I never want to do, or turn down the money. And obviously I turned down the money, but I'm wondering how many YouTubers out there have done the former and just taken the money and just made something up, or just found a random audio book that they found kind of interesting and then plugged it despite the fact they didn't give a shit. I'm hoping that discussing this will, for at least a few people out there, just make you think more than not at all when you see another YouTuber doing a plug, and just ask yourself, is this person being completely honest with me? What was the terms of the deal struck here? What were they asked to do? What were they asked to not do? Because I think that's the most important thing. And I just want people out there who watch other YouTubers, who put themselves forward as an independent creative voice like I do, are they really, if they're signing deals like that? Also, wish me a happy birthday on Twitter or something.